Hey there, infinite beings. This is Caitey, your mind, body, spirit awakening coach, here to help you unlimit yourselves. So, what we're going to talk about today is our thoughts and how they are actively creating our reality. Now, you might have heard this before. I have heard it a ton of times, right? But there was a time, a long time, that I didn't believe it. That I thought that what was happening to me was just like pulling the short end of the straws in that game where you have all the straws, right? You pull the short stick or pull the short straw. That's what I thought my life was. That whatever happened to me was happen chance, and that I was meant to experience it because I had to, right? Now, there's definitely things that are life experiences because life happens to us. And a lot of that comes into play with the way that we're thinking about things and how we're perceiving it, right? So Wayne Dyer has a really good quote: when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So a lot about perspective, right? So this comes down to our thoughts. What are you thinking in your head? I know for me, I never even realized how much I thought negatively about myself or my situations until I actually started observing these thoughts. It was really crazy. It was like a huge epiphany for me to realize, like, oh my God, I didn't even realize that I had all this stuff stored up in here when I start catching it and whatnot. So basically, we could let those thoughts run wild if we want to. It could be like our mind, a 2-year-old, right? And you just let the 2-year-old like rip off his diaper and like run around the house naked and drawing, coloring on the walls and stuff. And that is like letting your mind run wild. Or you could choose to like, put some clothes on the baby and have the baby sit down and color in a coloring book. And this is a way of kind of controlling your mind. I don't know if you like that analogy or not. I thought it was pretty funny when I thought of it. But anyway, there's infinite ways that we can use to control our mind and our thoughts, whatever really works for you. But I'm going to list 3 ways that are helpful in you controlling your mind or your thoughts. Another analogy, and I think this was Thich Nhat Hanh that thought of this, who's a meditation master and teacher from Tibet, that your mind is like a monkey and it's going all crazy, and we have to do things for our mind. We have to give it jobs to do, like you got to give it a banana, right? So if we give it a job to do like saying mantras or affirmations or different things like this, right? These are all ways that we can kind of rewire those neural pathways. When we have a set way of doing things, our brain is a muscle. So when we have a set way of doing things, we kind of get used to doing that thing. It's comfortable and we're not really thinking about the negative consequences of it. It's just like secondhand nature. But when you start to, like I said, catch those things, and then we can like rewire and start to fit plugs into different places. And then soon before you know it, your life's on a whole different track and you're doing all the things that you wanted to be doing. So first way that I would say that we can rewire our brains and that we can create our reality into a better place is by meditation. Meditation is so life-changing. There's so many benefits to it. They do it all over the world now. It used to just be primarily in Tibetan culture, but now it's done all over because they've realized that not only are there what would be considered spiritual benefits or benefits that connect you to the universe, which there are, totally, and health benefits as well to our physical beings and to our mental beings. So mind, body, spirit. We got 3 ways that this is just totally connecting us and plugging us into what we need and what we want, which is awesome, and helping you gain a little bit more control. So like when you're meditating, you can think of your thoughts like clouds, and or a conveyor belt, right? And you watch them go by or watch them float by, and we can observe them, but we don't have to like sit and pick that thought and choose it to sit there and dwell on it, right? That's what we choose to do as humans because we like identify with certain thoughts, or we, feel just like the need to be drawn to them, but we can let it go and we can choose another thought, or we can choose no thought. But this is a practice, so we develop this over time. So another really good way to get your mind into a right place and start kind of changing things up about the way you think, and I did this a lot when I first had to start rewiring these pathways, because like I said, I had some negative patterns that were just kind of consistent. So mirror work is a great way to really start to change the way you think about, especially about yourself, right? This is a good self-work type thing, like doing shadow work and stuff. You look in the mirror every day and you tell yourself great things, like you love yourself, that you're there for yourself, that you're worthy, whatever things that you can think of that are positive affirmations. Say this in the mirror, right? And this will help to change. If you do it every day for 30 days, I guarantee you will see a difference in the way that your being is and the way that you think about life. And then you'll start to see that things around you are different, but is it because the things around you are different? Not really, no. It's because your perspective's changed and you think better about things. You think better about yourself and your situation. And the third way that I'm going to talk about that we can kind of switch things up and rewire those neural pathways up there is by doing affirmations. Specifically, I am affirmations. This is good also for self-work. So Wayne Dyer, I like to listen to a lot of different teachers, and he's one of my favorites. But he talks about the I am phrase, right? Because, and this was a game changer for me when I found this out. So saying like, I am, and then blank, whatever you would fill it in with afterwards. That this is the God phrase, because in the Bible, which you don't have to be religious or like the Bible at all, this is just an example, but that he uses, that God says, I am that I am, right? Because it's like the infinite of all phrases, because we are what we are. I am that I am. So when you say, I am stupid, let's say for a bad example, right? Then that is totally like counterintuitive to that God vibration. So you're just like sending yourself all these wonky vibrations that just, for your God self, that's not like serving you. It's a powerful, powerful statement. So when I realized how many times in my life that I said I am with like a negative phrase after it, I was just so baffled. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that I do this much. So start focusing on what you say after you say the words I am. And if it needs to be changed, start to change it up. Bring awareness to that part of your life and then start to change those things. And like I said, you start to rewire those neural pathways and change the way you think about things. I promise you, your reality will change. I think that's all I got for today. You guys rock, and I love coming on here and giving videos, and I feel like I just want to keep growing as you guys keep growing, and I send you infinite love and blessings and peace, and I will see you on here next time.